The Daily Record High School Football Insider Show is back for Week 10. I'm sports editor Aaron Dorkson along with Mike Plant. We're here at the Pines in Orville, the setting for the Wooster Orville Captain's Lunch. As always, we want to thank our sponsor, Buffalo Wild Wings. Mike, after a wild regular season filled with unpredictable scores, we're already in Week 10. It's flown by, and surprisingly, most of our area teams know their fate as far as league and playoff hopes already coming into Week 10.
Yeah, that's right, Aaron. Norwayne at 8-1 overall, 6-0 in the Wayne County Athletic League, locked up the outright league title with its win at Northwestern last week. The Bobcats also assured themselves, Aaron, of a home playoff game, and with a home win over Rittman Friday night, can likely wrap up the top seed in Division 5 Region 16.
Chippewa and Smithville also look to have wrapped up playoff berths already. Waynedale could be on the bubble. With a win, it'll get in. They're playing Smithville, but if they lose, Waynedale could need some help.
Also in the WCAL this week, Northwestern will go to Chippewa, and Hillsdale will be traveling to Dalton.
A lot at stake for Wooster as far as the league title. They need a win in the Ohio Cardinal Conference against Orville to wrap up a share of that league. And also they probably need a win to get into the Division II playoffs. If they win, most projections have them finishing 7th, and that would likely mean a road trip to Worthington, Kilbourne, or Licking Heights. Also on the Week 10 schedule from our area, Columbus Mifflin at Triway, Tuslaw at Fairless, West Holmes at Clear Fork, Cloverleaf at Streetsboro, and Shelby goes to Loudonville.
Well, that's a look at the Week 10 schedule. Let's take a break and come back with some sights and sounds from the Wooster Orville Captain's Lunch, a great tradition that dates back to the 1970s in anticipation of the 105th meeting between the two old rivals this Friday night.
I'm Petey Best. I'm middle linebacker and center. I'm a senior, and the game means a lot to me. It's really an honor to play in it with all the past that's going on with this game.
Jermaine Wilson, senior, running back, cornerback. It's an honor to play in this game. There's a lot of tradition and history behind it.
Colt Morgan, I'm a junior. I play wide receiver and defensive back. It means a lot to play in this game just because you're representing our communities, and it's a great game, good rivalry that's been lasting for a long time, and we just get to lay all we have on the field the last game of the season, and there's a lot of emotions attached to this game.
I'm Peyton Bankson. I'm a junior. I play quarterback. This game is a privilege to play in because it's not only just for the schools, it's for the communities, and it's had such a rich tradition of games going between Orville and Wooster.
Luke Smith, senior, quarterback, and defensive back. It just means a lot, and it's an honor to play in this game with all the history behind it and everything.
Jacob Hosteller, offensive and defensive tackle, senior. This game just means so much to me just because of this long history that we've had. I mean, this is the 105th game, and it's nice to have the chance to become part of that long.
Welcome back to the Daily Record High School Football Insider. I'm Mike Plant. Alongside me is Wooster head coach Doug Haas as he gets the Generals ready for the 105th meeting Friday night at Red Ryder Stadium. Doug, real quick about Orville. This year's Red Riders, I know the record doesn't really reflect it, but their offense, I know you've looked at a lot of film. They haven't had any problems scoring. What worries you about this Orville team coming into Friday?
Just that entire offense. I mean, you said it. I mean, they're finding a way to score. They do a great job in terms of getting the ball to their playmakers in space and letting them do the things. I mean, they're kind of a two-headed monster in the backfield with those two running backs. Luke Smith is an experienced guy at the quarterback position, and then they got several skilled players, on the perimeter that can catch it and run with it and move it down the field. So, we're going to have to be sound defensively. We're going to have to make sure that we get off blocks and go tackle in space and the tricky part is they have such a great run-pass ratio that it makes it hard for you to key in on one thing versus the other. So, playing solid team defense is going to be essential.
And, this season, the Wooster defense has really been improved, probably the best defense in 4 years since you've been there, Doug. I know that going into Friday, playoff berth. If you win, you sew that up along with share of the OCC again, the Ohio Cardinal Conference Championship. Is it, when you start hearing playoff talk before you play this game, do you get a little bit nervous, or is there like no chance that Wooster ever could overlook Orville? And even if you were playing tiddlywinks, I would think you'd be ready. But I don't know. How do you keep your kids focused on, hey, we got to take care of business Friday night?
Our kids have done a great job. We've had a great week so far in terms of practice standpoint. So I don't think that the focus has been on the playoff aspect at all. It's certainly been one of those things where we don't live in a vacuum, so we're certainly aware of it. But we also know what's at stake for us in terms of another OCC title, and then you couple that with the fact that it's Orville, the 105th meeting, potentially the last time that we ever play from a Week 10 standpoint. There's lots of different things, lots of lasts or firsts, whatever you want to look at it, that make this game even more important. And so our kids are focused and ready to go and ready to handle their business in that aspect of it.
Great. Well, Doug, thanks for your time, and best of luck Friday. When we come back, Aaron Dorkson will be talking with Orville head coach Doug Duvall right after this.
Buffalo Wild Wings Team Up for Kids program is proud to support the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Join us at buffalowildwings.com/giving.
Pleasure to be joined now by 10th year Orville head coach Doug Duvall, also an assistant in the rivalry and played in it. You've seen it from a lot of different angles. Coach, your thoughts on this being the final Week 10 game for the rivalry, and then it'll move to a Thursday in Week 1?
Aaron, I've been involved in this game. I got thinking about that. Kent and I were talking about that the other day, and I've got about 25 years in the game. I played 4 years in high school, and I was 2-2 then. Lost my first two, my freshman, sophomore year, and then we won our junior and senior years. And then I was an assistant at Wooster before I was an assistant at Orville. And we got to go on, we were on the negative end of that side, and got to Orville and got on positive end. Then we went on the streaks. And as a head coach, I've been 10 years in it, and we've, again, been streaky. We won the first 6 and have lost the last 3. So I think overall I'm probably about 50-50 in this game, and that's a lot of games. But, yeah, you were talking about the fact that it's going to move to actually a Thursday night next year, and first game of the year, and that'll seem odd to me. I'm obviously old school. I'm old enough to know this game for 50 years and remember it for 50 years. And so it will – I don't know that it'll take the luster off the game, but it'll make it different. It's not going to be the same atmosphere. We won't have the bonfire before the game. I don't know if we'll have the captain's lunches and things like that, but will the student body still be fired up about playing Wooster? You bet. Will our kids still view it as the Wooster rivalry? You bet. So those things will remain the same. It's just the timing of it. So it'll be interesting to see how everybody responds to that. But, it's one of those things. There's change is constant, as we like to say, and these are one of the things that everybody's going to have to adapt to.
Yeah, that's a great perspective on the game. And you mentioned the streaks, and unfortunately you don't like it, but Wooster has the winning streak now, and they've kind of won soundly. But I was talking to you earlier in the week, and you have a lot of confidence in this team. Maybe talk about how you feel about your team going in and how you've been coaching them up to believe they can go out and get the win. You have to think you can win every time you step on the field.
And for us, that's probably the biggest thing, is us going out and having the confidence, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We've scuffled on that side, and you can't make plays if you're paralyzed with the fear that you're going to make a mistake. And then that's the thing that we've been preaching. Just go play. Play downhill, get to the ball as fast as you can, and see if good things are going to happen. And I love our kids' attitude. One of the things we talked about, that this group that we have right now went through 3 years of junior high football and didn't win a game. And so that ability to understand what it takes to win and know how to win, that's very important. And last week, I liked the way that we persevered and made it through a couple of tough situations during the course of the game. When Domer goes down in the second play, it had been easy for the kids to go, you know what, I don't know if this is going to be our night. But they didn't. We rallied. We had to make adjustments that the kids hadn't seen before. And to their credit, they were able to adapt and conquer, as they say. So, I feel good about where our kids are at mentally. Now it's just going to be going out and seeing if we can execute it on Friday night.
Another good take on the game, Doug. Always good to talk football with you, and good luck on Friday.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks.